When does a digital planner use a paper notebook? Well, when all of their devices are busy doing other things. That's what I want to share with you today in this notebook, so stay with me. Well, hi everyone, I'm Crystal from A Crystal Clear Life, where we focus on planning, organizing, and living a more simplified life. And today I want to talk to you about the planner that I use for the church services that I run. So let's get right into it. All right, so this is a planner that I actually bought at Five Below last year during their school supply sale, and it was a notebook that was made in Vietnam. And I tell you what, I love the paper in this little $5 notebook. The coil has held up really well over the year, and I am very happy with it. What I've been using this notebook for is all of my church services. Now, I run the online church services for our church. We stream through Zoom and Facebook Live, as well as having church services in person in the sanctuary. And I am the one that handles all of the online portion of that. So I have a lot to keep track of, and I do it in this little notebook. Let me show you what's inside. So like I said, I started this notebook in 2023, and you can see I have used it every single week and filled it up quite a bit. And, you know, there are things like regular calendars and things that are happening in the church, as well as planning for special events and that kind of thing. But what I wanted to show you today is I wanted to show you what I'm doing to set up for 2024. I still have quite a few pages left in this notebook, and I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to go ahead and set it up and continue using it in 2024. Fortunately, when I was at Five Below this school supply season, I happened to find another notebook exactly the same. The cover's a little bit different, but it's exactly the same paper and made by the same company, so I'm very excited about that. The first thing that I need to do for 2024 is I need to set up kind of a year at a glance or a long-term plan, however you want to call that. Because this is my church notebook and I need to get things done in here pretty quickly, what I decided to do for 2024 was simply to take these Post-it notes, and I was fortunate that 3 fit on every page, and I simply peeled off the Post-it note that I wanted to use and placed it down. And again, this is only for me to use, so I'm not worried about it being perfect. And then I just took a Sharpie and added the name of the month. Now, I know that there are certain things that happen every year during certain months. Like, of course, we have Christmas service during December. We have Easter service sometime over here in March or April. And I want to be able to record those things, as well as any additional special events that we might be doing, community events, potlucks, group dinners, that kind of thing. So I want to have a space that as we're doing our planning meeting in January, I can just go in here and write down potential dates of when things are going to happen. That will help keep me organized, because in addition to running the online services as communications director, I am also in charge of the church's Facebook and Instagram accounts, as well as the webpage. So there's a lot going on that I need to keep track of. I think this will be a good year at a glance kind of thing for me. Okay, now we get right into the planning. I'm going to turn the page, and you can see here I do have a little bit of bleed through because I used a regular fine point Sharpie. But I'm going to take care of that, because the other thing that I put in this notebook is, again, I went to the dollar store and I found this academic planner. The thing that I love about this academic planner is it has the month on one page, okay? So you can see here that I went through and I cut all of these pages out, and I have been using them so far in my planner. Like I showed you back here. Let's see, where's November's? There we go. So there's November's. And you can see there that it works really well. It fits perfectly in this notebook, and I love that, okay? So I'm going to continue that in 2024 because this was an academic year planner. Easiest way to get it in there for me is to use some Elmer's glue. So that's what I have here, and I'm going to put the glue right on my page because I know that this calendar takes up this entire page. Sometimes I put this page on the right-hand side, but because I have that bleed through of that Sharpie, I'm going to put it here on the left-hand side to cover that up. Let's get that positioned correctly. There we go, snug up against the coils. And there we go. Okay, now as I get into the year or into the month, I will go in here and put a little decoration, a little theme for the month. I like to use very minimal stickers. Again, as you can see back here, I went with a Thanksgiving theme, and then for my actual weeklies, I went with more of a Thanksgiving kind of fall theme, and I will continue that as I go into the new year. What I'm really doing is using up some of my stickers from my teaching days, and those are stickers that I used to put on kids' papers and that kind of thing. It works great, okay? I can also put some washi tape here or some whiteout to cover up quizzes and tests, and put other things that need to go there. Normally it is things that are needed for the food bank that we participate in, okay? All right, then I'm gonna leave this page blank for any special occasions that come up in January as a place for me to take notes. When I turn the page, we have a monthly council meeting at our church, and I like to write down things here that I need to remember for that particular meeting, so that if I get asked for agenda items, or if something doesn't get covered and I want to make sure that we talk about that, I will have it right here on my list, and I use these pages for notes from that. So one of the things that I need to talk about in January is whether we want to do the pancake supper in February. So that will be one of my questions, and I go ahead and write it down here so I do not forget. Okay? All right, so turning the page. So we have our monthly calendar, a place for important notes, or a council meeting, and then we get right into the weeklies. And for this particular month, January, I have picked the color blue just because I don't know why, but somehow in my mind, January is always blue. I want to show you how I set up for each week, okay? I kind of have things penciled in here for spacing purposes so that I don't get off. But what I normally do is I set up for the week, so January 7th, 2024, and it's going to take me a while to get used to writing that. Then I put a box here, and that is for the total attendance, okay? So that goes there. And then, like I said at the top of the video, we have people who call in on Zoom. So I list down numbers and visitors and all of that kind of stuff here for Zoom. We also have people who watch us live on Facebook. And again, I write down who is visiting, who's attending, that kind of thing. And then we also have people who attend our service in person. So I want to make sure that I note that there as well, okay? Now, down here at the bottom of the page, I always leave a place for myself to write down any announcements that might be made during the service that I need to take note of. Again, remember, I do the Facebook and Instagram stuff, so anything that's coming up I have to be aware of. And then I have a place here for production notes. This is a section where I write down things for myself, like, was the audio okay? Was the lighting okay? Is there some tweak that I need to make to some of the cameras or something like that? So a place for me to write notes for myself, okay? All right, then on this side, again, I date it January 7th, 2024. And over here, I list all the things that happen in the service. So, for example, we take prayer requests, and I like to know who those prayer requests are from. So let's say Susie calls in with a prayer request for her brother. I can write down Susie's name and then her brother's name and what, health condition or what he may need prayers for. I also keep a place over here for Joy's. So let's say that Barbara calls and says that she is a new grandparent. I can write down Barbara's name here in the middle column, and that she has a new grandchild, and any information that I need to keep for that. Okay. So joys go on one side, and concerns or prayer requests go on the other side. All right. And I know as I look back from week to week, I can see any updates that I need to know here as well. Okay, so I like having that in place for each service. Okay, moving on down the page, I also need to record what hymns are sung during each service. Again, we have a license to be able to broadcast our music, and I need to make sure that the hymns that we are singing are covered under the license and document all of that kind of thing. So I list any hymns that are there. I also list the scriptures that are read that week from the Bible. I list those here, and maybe a brief synopsis about what they are about. And then I have a place for my own sermon notes down here. Usually I put the title of the sermon and who's preaching it, and then I have a little space down here to do my own personal note taking about what the service was about. Okay? All right. Now, I will need to take an eraser and go back over and erase my highlights or my pencil marks here from where I was sketching this in. But basically, I will go through and set up the week of January 7th, the week of January 14th, the week of January 21st, and the 28th. And then I will turn the page, and if I don't need this page for a special event that's coming up, like maybe the pancake supper, I will go ahead and put February's monthly in here, leave a place for the council meeting notes and any other events, and then I will start my weeklies again. Okay, so I'm assuming that I will probably get through maybe half of the year in this notebook, and then I will have to start my new notebook, which is absolutely fine, because then that way I will probably get 3 years out of 2 notebooks, which I think is great. Okay, the only other thing that I keep in this notebook is I do keep a ruler that has some post-it notes on it, and I like to leave that in here because as things come up during the service and I need to make a note of something, or there's a lot of fellowship after the service, all the people stay on Zoom and they talk, and somebody might mention a great book or a great movie or a place to travel to or something like that, and I want to write it down. It doesn't necessarily have to do with the service. As you can see here, it may not have to do exactly with the service, but it is a note that I want to be able to remember. So it's kind of nice to have post-it notes right there with me. And at the end, I just keep my little 20, 23, 24 calendars in the back so that I am ready to set up the next month. And there you have it. My church notebook has to be a paper and pencil notebook because all of my devices are busy running all of the various parts of the service, and I can't be taking notes on something else because I don't have any other devices. So in that case, this paper notebook works great. I love it. It has worked really well for me, and I just wanted to share that with you, kind of the way that I organize for the year for church. Doing this year at a glance, and for the months that I will come back and decorate that a little bit, and then for the weeks. And usually what I do for decoration, like I said back here in November, is I just do some minimal, maybe some washi tape or stickers, a little bit of color, and that's really about it. Okay, it just makes it interesting when I have to look back through to see all the different colors and things. Okay. All right, well, that does it for me today. I hope that everyone is busy planning for 2024, and there'll be lots more videos coming up in the month of December. So if you found anything that you liked here or you want to stay tuned, please give me a thumbs up today on this video. Go ahead and hit that subscription button. Turn your notifications all the way on so you won't miss any future videos. And until next time, here's hoping that you can live a more simplified and organized life through better planning. Today I'm using paper and pen. Until next time, okay, bye.